Hello friends, welcome back. I'm going to clear the space and then we're going to talk about immigration and how it relates to Bitcoin. So we all know that when you travel, you have to have money, currency to get around. So Bitcoin is the ultimate travel currency, but there are places that you can go and there is no Bitcoin available. There are no vendors available, which is why I was doing the video. Small vendors should be getting into Bitcoin because people need to travel and be able to have secure money that they can access easily and can, move freely. So Bitcoin is the next thing that's going to allow that to happen. But immigration brings that subject and that pressure to humanity because a lot of people are moving. You deserve love and compassion. We, humanity, deserves love and compassion. And when they're moving people around and they don't have access to the funds. Now, we have digital assets available right now. We have digital money, essentially. You go to your bank, it's a number, you move things around, you buy things, you don't have to even leave your chair. Lovely. Real change starts from inside you. And I think if we start thinking differently, becoming more demanding and I ask the people where I shop, when are you going to start carrying Bitcoin? When do you start making Bitcoin available? Do you know about Bitcoin? When are you going to start taking Bitcoin? And they usually laugh at me. My son is, tradesman, so to speak, and he has been telling people for years that he takes Bitcoin. And only recently did someone take him seriously. You could use some self-care time, like right now. Schedule it in. And, these people have needs. These immigration people understand that. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, human needs, It costs money to have people around. People cost money. It costs money to live. Which is why it's so insane. You should be able to live without it having to cost anything. Absolutely absurd. Anyway, a windfall of abundance, an increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you in support of life, purpose, health, and charitable work. Yeah, and that's all the things that Bitcoin supports. So, in terms of immigration and people moving, Bitcoin supports those things, and it would be a windfall of abundance just because it would make everything so much easier to do if you didn't have to worry about waiting 3 days or dealing with the financial institutions. I went and it took about, I want to say almost 40 minutes to get a check from an account I have at one of the banks that I go to. And it literally took them 40 minutes to issue me that check. Isn't that absurd? That's just absurd. And other places it takes days. But this is just, I went and said I need money from my account, and it took them 40 minutes to give it to me. Absolutely absurd. Anyway, be bold and make the first move. Yeah, talk to people. I would say talk to people about Bitcoin. When you go out and you see vendors and you are out with merchants, talk to them. Say, this would be so much easier if we just had Bitcoin. Alright, I'm going back and forth here with this Lenormand deck. Lately I feel compelled to do it when I'm doing these cards. And I don't know why, but the Spirit is compelling me to do that. But I put them back for now. We're going to find out about immigration and how it relates to Bitcoin and why this is, you know, for me it's an important issue. Right now they're moving all of the criminal element out. But I'm just saying, you know, the movement of people, Bitcoin would facilitate anything, but the movement of people especially would be so much easier. We know that. We know the story about, you know, your seed phrase in your head and that's it. And you walk across the border. You don't even have to be wearing any clothes. Queen of Wands. This is a dynamic person, a magical and dynamic person. That's a doer. She is a doer. And she follows the sun. She follows the warmth. So that could be immigration because they want a better life. So they're following the sun. They're saying, I don't want to stay in this crappy country with its criminal cartels, what have you. I'm going over here. I'm going to follow the sun. Okay. So death. That's the challenge. Well, yes. Let's see what they mean by that. Oh, things are moving quickly. Well, they are. Trump got in office and everything. Bam. So whatever the criminal organization of Biden was doing. Knight of Cups. Okay, so inconsistent, but coming in with your cup. I think we're trying to be compassionate with humanity as we resort ourselves. Four Swords, yeah. Secrets, but also restoration and replenishment. I think they're replenishing countries, they're replenishing areas, they're replenishing faith in humanity. They're replenishing populations that don't have enough young people, maybe. Okay. Page of Pentacles is someone who is discovering the physical world. So when people move from one place to another, or when you travel, as I did as a young person, you see that there are cultures and other places that are very different than yours, and you become more worldly. And I think that's what this is. Bitcoin is a very worldly thing. It is in many places. And when you travel, you see that the world is big, but the people are the same. Yeah, and you see yourself as worldly. You see yourself as part of the change. You see yourself as making a difference. Wands. Yep, here's the celebration. So we're still celebrating the fact that Biden is gone, the criminal element is gone, and here we are in victory, and now things can move forward, and now all of this crazy movement of people can become more sensible and more real. I hear they're having issues at the border, though. The cartels are really awful. And here's the Knight of Swords. So this is sometimes the truth, sometimes not the truth, sometimes the truth, sometimes not the truth. So it's inconsistent when you consider the treatment of these people, the stories that you're hearing about these people, the type of people. Some are angels, some are demons. It's inconsistent, and we can hope for something better than inconsistent, because this should be more consistency in spurts rather than inconsistency in spurts, you know, half full, half empty. Okay, and we want eventually all of the people of this realm to be sovereign people that can move freely and can do what they want when they want, but not in this way. not in this, chaotic, almost, it's like organized to be a weaponized movement of people. And that's essentially what it is. It's weaponized movement of people. Weaponized against the people, but weaponized against the people of the countries. Weaponized against the people that are being moved. It's the way that this is happening. It's not natural, and it's very destructive. Very destructive. So the immigration is going to become more rational and more natural, and the criminality of it and the weaponization of it are going to go away because the world is changing. Bitcoin is a big part of why the world is changing. But it's changing anyway. Astrology said it needed to, and it is. Remember, Pluto just moved into Aquarius. It's a whole new game. The ships are coming in. Yeah, resources are arriving. People are finally going to get what they need. Be supported. Yep, message is coming in again. We're getting the message. Important information. We're receiving important information. Yeah, for legacy. This is the rest of, the story of humanity. This is all of us. This is the human thing that we are. Interesting reading. Very interesting reading. Because immigration really concerns me, and the reason it concerned me is because it had been weaponized. And that's really the key. The kernel of truth in this reading is that it has been weaponized. It is not normal. And they keep saying, it's normal immigration, these poor people. No, it has been weaponized against sovereign people living in countries. And it dilutes the wealth, it dilutes the workforce. It's awful. It brings in criminal presence. It makes people unsafe. It's all weaponized. Earthworm, clarity, rumination. Yeah, and also, beginning again. But this is the way to make it more natural, the way to make it more healthy. I thought I knew the number, but I'll go look. It was just there. Clarity and rumination. The humble earthworm breaks down organic material and aerates soil, serving an essential function in the health of plants, and in the health of immigration and normal immigration. Without the earthworm's work, the soil would be too heavy and lack the oxygen roots needed to survive. Additionally, the organic matter wouldn't be as well blended in the soil. The earthworm card reminds you that some essential work is happening under the surface, yes, in your life. Nature is bringing you closer to your goal, yes. It also suggests that it's time to confront what troubles you. This has troubled me a long time. Consider breaking down big emotions into less intimidating, smaller chunks that are easier to digest and understand. What can you do to help yourself when you feel overwhelmed? What I do is I read cards. When I feel overwhelmed about something, I read cards about it. So I am lucky enough to have that option. So, yeah, this is going to be a more natural thing. I don't have anything against. That's the argument they give you, is you don't really have anything against other people coming in the country. It's the fact that they have weaponized that against you. And now you're like, I don't have any trouble people coming in the country appropriately. It's not appropriate. They've weaponized this and made it a criminal enterprise. They've done all kinds of things to this. So that's the problem. And you can't open your mouth because, well, you got a problem with other people. Yeah, that's what they do. And it's about human trafficking, because here's the white rabbit. So, if you want the answer, there it is. Alright, let's look at our little rabbit who stirs up a dust cloud. Afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit. They shape your destiny. Sensitive problem solver and a good listener. Okay, well, there you go. That's the answers to immigration, people moving. What did I write? Removing immigrants, receiving immigrants, and Bitcoin. And I think that'll be the title. So, this is about the immigration issue and what's going on. But there's things happening now that are going to normalize the situation and make it more natural again, and people will be able to move appropriately as sovereign people. Yeah, there's a lot of action, and we're going to put a stop to this weaponization. So that's what's going on with immigration and Bitcoin. They're also, really showing us how easy it is to move about when you have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin would really help a lot of the situation. Alright, anyway, thank you. I'll see you around, Bitcoiners, but like, share, and subscribe if you will. Thanks. Bye.